Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new box office breakdown show here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Sandberg. Today, I'm breaking down the box office of this past weekend, which was May 10th to the 12th. We're going to break down so far this year, worldwide and domestic, and tell you the 3 new movies that are hitting theaters this upcoming weekend. So welcome back to the channel. If you're new, please subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. Also, tell your friends about the channel. We're literally under 4 subscribers away from 200, so let's get us the 200 subscribers as quickly as possible as well. Do a fun video if that happens. It'll be an honor to get to at least 200 subscribers. So let's get there. I talk movies, TV shows, box office. I do out of theater reactions, and I do movie franchise rankings, which I'll have this week. So please subscribe, ring the bell, comment down below. What are your thoughts on the box office? What did you see this past weekend? What do you see this upcoming weekend? I respond to all the comments. I've been loving the conversation we've been having in the comment section. Let's keep that up down below. And also, please like the video, guys. The YouTube algorithm needs you to be liking the videos so more people can check me out. So please hit that like button down below. So without further ado, let's get into this past weekend's box office, which I said was May 10th to the 12th of 2024. And kicking things off is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, opening to 58.4 million domestically, over 100 million opening worldwide. And this is a great sign for the Planet of the Apes, which is under 20th Century Fox, which obviously is now owned by Disney. This is the second highest grossing Planet of the Apes film ever for opening weekend, just below 72 million, which was for War for the Planet of, sorry, not War for, but Dawn of the Planet of Apes, the second of the trilogy. So this film obviously opened 30 million more than Fall Guy did. This movie's around $130 million budget. It's a great start for the Apes franchise. Now, the question moving forward with this movie is its length of time. It's in the top 5, its drops and things like that, because shockingly, the audience scores on both CinemaScore and Rotten Tomatoes are not super strong. I think it has like a B CinemaScore, which is not good, and then it has like around 79% of Rotten Tomatoes. So that is usually what CinemaScore tells us is, does this movie have legs? Because obviously, if it has good word of mouth, it will have legs. It'll have repeat viewing, and then new people who maybe didn't have interest, but because people are liking the movie, will go out and see it. Now, while the critics, including myself, have really enjoyed this film, it does not seem audiences have been as passionate about the franchise post Caesar. So it will be interesting if that is indeed true. It's not really a family film, but I guess it could be seen as a family film. And there are a lot of family films still coming out this month with Garfield and If. So we'll see how Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes will do. Do the movies coming out this upcoming weekend, it will be sharing its IMAX screens with that Jet movie that is going to hit Prime Video, but it's hitting IMAX theaters first. So Kingdom isn't losing all of its premium screens, but it will in 2 weeks to Furiosa. So, and the report was that this movie made 44% of its box office off of premium screens. That's IMAX, 3D, Dolby, things like that. So we'll see. It is losing a lot of its Dolby screens to If, and some of its IMAX screens to that new Flying movie. So we'll see how it holds on. But 58.4 is kind of the movie that we wanted to see kick off the summer movie season. Fall Guy disappointed. And talking about Fall Guy, it got to number 2 this weekend, a 51% drop off, 13.6 this past weekend, 49 million. This movie had a 51% drop, which isn't bad for blockbusters, but because it didn't open high as it should have, this is not a great drop off for the Fall Guy. And it's not even, again, right around 50 million domestic. This movie was over 150 million, 180 million budget without advertising. So this movie needs to make a lot more money for it to be successful. Just not any momentum. Doesn't seem like anyone is talking about this movie anymore post its opening weekend. So we'll see how it does on digital. It is a film from Universal, so it'll hit digital, and then down the line, it'll get to Peacock. But don't know where this movie went, but for people, it's just not in the sphere anymore. Challengers is at number 3 from Amazon MGM Studios, dropping 42%. Another good drop-off for Challengers, 4.3 million. It's up to 37.7. Another movie that's around 80, 90 million before advertising. Again, some of these movies could be doing well, I guess, but their budgets are just so high at the moment. Now, a lot of this because of the strike, pushing films, reworking films, reshooting films during the strike, things like that have definitely affected cost. But still, films like The Fall Guy and The Challenge, I think, are just too expensive. And even these okay box office numbers could be better if the box office was budgeted in a better way. But I think Challenge is especially just way too expensive of a movie from a business perspective. But it won't hurt anybody in this movie's careers. And we'll see how its Oscar chances are over the next year. Tarot in its second weekends at number 4, dropping 48%, so below 50 is pretty good drop off, but still didn't really open that high anyway. 3.4 million up to 11.9 million. Again, horror, no matter how bad it seems, audiences and critics seem to not like this movie. I did not like this movie, but horror gets people into the box office, into the movie theater, and Tarot was that movie. There's another horror movie hitting theaters this weekend, which I will assume will replace Tarot towards the low end of the top 5. Again, this is other than Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, the rest of the top 5 and top 10 is very low this past weekend. But Tarot is now up to 11.9 million in 2 weekends. And wrapping up the top 5 is Godzilla X Kong in its 7th weekend. 2.6 million, a 42% drop, 191.8 million. And as I'm recording this on Tuesday, May 14th, the film has officially dropped on PVOD. So now you can purchase this film for around $20. It is a Warner Brothers Discovery film. Tarot is a Sony Pictures film. So down the line, it'll go to PVOD, digital, then Netflix. For Godzilla X Kong, it will go PVOD, then it'll go to rental, and then eventually it will hit Max. So that's the pathway moving forward for Godzilla X Kong. So far this year, as I said, Dune Part 2, biggest movie of the year by around $89 million over Godzilla X Kong, which has now overtaken the number 2 slot, domestic over Kung Fu Panda 4, which is at 191. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is the other $100 million movie at 111. Again, so far this year, only 4 $100 million just here domestically, which is United States and Canada. Again, we are about to hit the summer movie season, so a lot more movies should be on this list by the time I talk to you towards the end of the summer. But wrapping up the top 10 that are also not in that $100 million club, Bob Marley, One Love is at 5, Mean Girls at 6, Beekeeper at 7, Civil War at 8 in just one weekend. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is already at number 9, and Fall Guy is at number 10. When we're talking about the worldwide numbers so far this year, Dune Part 2, biggest movie of the year by over 100 million, 710.4 million. Dune is hitting Max. Dune Part 2 is hitting Max in the next week. So that should be interesting how that buzz continues for Dune Part 2. Godzilla X Kong is at number 2, 558.7. So it seems like those 2 movies are officially done. Those are pretty square right now at 1 and 2. Kung Fu Panda 4 is at number 3 of 529 million worldwide. Chinese films are the movies 4 through 7, and then back to American films 8 through 10. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is number 8 with 198.5 million. That movie has already hit digital, is number 1 on iTunes at the moment. Bob Marley, One Love's at 176.7 at number 9, and The Beekeeper is at number 10 with 152. Again, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes already opened to 130 million worldwide, so it is already 20 million away from getting into the top 10. As I said, 3 new movies are hitting the multiplexes this upcoming weekend. You have the new big movie of the weekend is If, from director John Krasinski, starring Ryan Reynolds and a boatload of other voice performances. Krasinski's first test outside of the horror genre from a filmmaking perspective after he directed successfully both A Quiet Place movies. A Quiet Place Day 1 will still be coming out this summer, but he is not directing it. Krasinski's first chance outside of the horror genre to see how he does at the box office. And Ryan Reynolds' is first of 2 movies that are hitting theaters this upcoming summer. Also coming out this theater is the new horror film, which is The Strangers, Chapter 1, the first of a trilogy that's all coming out this year. I believe Chapter 1 and 2. Obviously, Chapter 1 is coming out this Friday. Chapter 2 is supposed to be coming out later this year. And then Chapter 3 is supposed to be coming out next year. So we'll see how The Strangers is going to do at the box office. Already, Chapter 2 is in post-production, so that movie is done. So no matter how this movie does financially, critically, we're going to probably see all 3 of these movies coming out over the next year. And then the other movie coming out this upcoming weekend is the new Amy Winehouse movie called Back to Black. directed by Sam Taylor Johnson, about the story of Amy Winehouse. That movie is also hitting theaters this upcoming weekend. So what are you going to see in theaters this weekend? What did you see? What are your thoughts on Kingdom, the Planet of the Apes? Is it going to hold up? Will it not? What's going to be the big movie of the summer? Let me know, and I'll talk to you guys